Easy guys, Dom here from CDG. So if you are playing Stalker 2, you might have reached the section of the game where you're doing the mission just like the good old days, and you might be getting stuck and not sure if you're at a point where you're encountering a bug or if you're just maybe missing something important. And when I first started trying to do this mission, I was doing exactly the same thing. I was getting to a point where I was getting stuck and I wasn't quite sure where I needed to go. But with me doing a little bit of experimenting and searching around and just being generally nosy, I managed to figure out the best way to be able to progress through this mission. And I may, while I'm doing this walkthrough, be able to point out certain parts that you might be getting stuck on. And because there's so many different points that you might be getting stuck on, this walkthrough is going to be a little bit longer, so I can cover off everything that you guys that are here watching this video might be here to find out. So initially you will start this mission really once you get to Quiet's camp location, which is in the region of Wild Island, and this is where it says you've got to talk to the professor. Once you get to this point of where you used to be able to like trade with Quiet, you will get the markers appear after a short radio broadcast telling you that you need to neutralize the mercs that are threatening the professor. So now we can just enter into the building and go into the room where you'd usually trade with Quiet if you've been here before. There's a couple of things to pick up here, including a book with some lore in it, and also a silenced assault rifle known as the AS-Levina, which is quite nice. Now behind you, when you turn around, you're going to notice there's a high voltage fuse. You could pick this up now if you're going to do one choice later on. I do come down and get it in a little while though. Now we're going to head up the stairs here and we're going to defeat the mercenaries that are guarding the professor. So now the mercenaries have been defeated, we can speak to the professor who's in this room along here on the left hand side. Now you've got two choices here. You can either choose to fix the ventilation system or choose gas isn't an issue. And if you choose gas isn't an issue, then you've got to go through a little bit of a cave system that's full of toxic gas. As long as you've got plenty of healing items, you should be okay.
So I gotta fix the ventilation system.
In this instance though, we're going to choose the option to fix the ventilation system, and that means now we need to go and grab that fuse that you saw earlier, and that's what we're going to do on the way down out of the building. Now the reason why I'm doing this option is because there may be some points along the way that could trip you up that you might get stuck on if you chose that as a dialogue option. However, if you chose the option that gas isn't an issue, then you can skip forward, and that is where you will pretty much be heading off to next. So now we're just going to be heading across to the shelter location itself. And here you've literally just got to leave the building, go across where you can see all these train cars sticking out of the river. And once you're across the other side, you just got to run left up these stairs. There is an emitter in this crudely fashioned radio antenna here. I don't know if destroying this actually reduces any of the C emissions that you might get in this area. I haven't really tested it. However, I was passing it, so I destroyed it anyway. Now we're going through the main door into the shelter. You would have been here earlier on for a story mission. You should recognize this area, and we're going to head down here and we're going to head towards where you'd usually find the mechanic who would be able to fix your stuff. Once you enter this area, you are going to have to fight some mutants, namely a bloodsucker is what I had here. And once you've defeated the bloodsucker, there is a PDA that you can pick up. Now if you just turn around behind you is a door that should be open, and we can head through these doorways past the broken concrete pipe. There is some crates around the side that you can climb up and get onto the top of this pipe, and then you're going to jump across here. This might be a section that you might have got stuck on if you was doing this particular part of the mission. We can just follow this corridor all the way along to the end. It's going to lead you to an open pipe that will take you into a room where you will find the junction box, or whatever we want to call it, where you're going to put in that fuse that you collected earlier. What this is now going to do is going to vent some of that toxic gas out of that cave system that we're going to be heading to in a minute. If we just come out the end here and turn right, we're just basically heading back the way we came. There is a storage box here that you can still use, but let's just slow down a little bit before we leave. Where the gun trader is here to our left, if you go in there now because the door's open, you can pick yourself a pretty sweet set of corundum armor if you haven't got this already. Also, there is a badly damaged RPG in that room as well amongst some ammo. But now what we're doing is we're just leaving this area and we are literally just going to head around the side of the shelter to be able to get to that cliff edge where, again, it might be an area that you might be getting stuck on if you're here. So we're just going to speed through this part of the video until we get there. So now you're near the cliff edge and you might notice that your compass marker or the marker on the map looks like it's below you and there's nothing here and you're looking maybe for a hatch or a hole. Especially if you've come here and it's dark, it is quite hard to see where you need to go. And this could be where you're stuck like I was initially, but if you just drop off the edge of the cliff here, or you can run round if you don't want to take any fall damage, there is a cave entrance here and this is what you're looking for. You need to now navigate through the cave system until you come into the section where you will see all the toxic puddles that we were switching the ventilation system on for earlier. This area is going to be a lot safer for you to pass through now if you've ventilated the gas. If not, then as long as you've got a half decent suit and plenty of meds, as I said originally, I did make it through this area alive just by using medical stims to be able to heal myself. Now eventually you'll get to this section where there's these rusted pipes, and what you can do is you can jump onto these rusted pipes and just run up until you get to the top. Now if you turn left here and run around the side of this balcony where these railings are, there is an SVD and a stash of a few items that you might want to pick up while you're here. Now we're going to go back the way we came. We're going to run past these fans that you can see on the left, and we're going to go through the hole here and drop down. Now this is another section that you might be getting stuck on. This is where there is an emitter again with one of those crudely fashioned antennas, and what we're looking for is we're actually looking for the emitter itself, which can be quite easy to miss. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to pick this emitter up to be able to move along this mission. And now you've picked it up, you can progress. There is a lock on the gate behind you, and if you shoot that, that's going to now give you access back in to the shelter base area where we were earlier. So you just got to literally just navigate your way back through the base until you leave.
I found the emitter.
Great. Get it over to the chemical plant. We're waiting for you.
So once you get to a certain point here, some mercenaries are going to try and shake you down. Once you've made your decision on what you want to do here, you can now leave the shelter area and either head to the professor, which is optional, or head over to your main marker, which is at the chemical plant. And that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully I've covered off all the main things within this mission itself that you may be getting stuck on. If this video has helped you in any way, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another video. Thanks for watching.